Hello, hello, welcome. This is part 3 of my color along out of Mythographic Paradise. This is for Mythographic of the Month Club. So again, if you want to join in any page, any book, just use the hashtag Mythographic of the Month Club wherever you post. So we are working on this wonderful tulip page. Now I do apologize that there's a little more done up here than when we left. I did that cool trick where you press play, start talking, do a bunch of coloring, and then look up to check your time and realize you didn't really push play at all. So we're going to start from here. I didn't do anything tremendous or super exciting, so it doesn't really matter. And the cool thing about it is there's a windmill in a tree here and a windmill in a tree here, so you would have seen it twice anyway. So I have a little bit of tulips to finish here, but I did decide to make mine bushes. So I'm going to bring up the goldenrod and the orange from my flowers and the yellow and kind of pull them colors up my page. I used some nice browns on my tree, which I'm going to carry into these. Now this building looks a little funny right here for now because this is about where I was when I looked up and realized I am not recording. So this also, the outside of the windmills is just a fine liner. These are the Stettler Tri-Plus fine liners. I've heard lots of good things about these. Lots of people love them. They are decent to me. I haven't pulled mine in a while. I've been pulling my Inkonics, but it was kind of nice to go back and try them again. I do like their triangle shape a little bit more, but anyways, on to other things. So let's tackle a little bit of this tree here that I was going to do this one, but they're so mixed together and I don't want to confuse anybody. So I'm going to start over here again with this one. Okay, so let's play with this tree a little bit here. So I pulled sepia, light umber, and goldenrod for this. And all I'm doing is alternating. There is no rhyme or reason for where I'm placing colors. Obviously, if I have dark blue on my tree limbs, it's going to be harder to erase. I'll just cover it with my dark color. But I'm going to put it just in random places. I'm not really going by, you know, the bottoms of the branches should be darker, lighter toward the top, just because there's so many. So if you want to do it that way, you sure can. Okay, then I'm going to take my light umber. And I'm still going to leave some spots for highlights. So I'm not going to color it all in. So like there should be some goldenrod right there. I kind of work all three colors at once. Otherwise I feel like things get mixed up and skipped. Make sure I'm on camera here. Been trying to work a little better on getting a little closer to the actual page. I feel like the camera is really close to me, and then when I go to edit it, I feel like you still can't see anything because it's way far away. So I am working on that whole zoom thing. Okay, again, so just kind of alternating all three here. Alright, if I feel like anywhere looks weird, just go ahead and touch it up. So that will oh my goodness, that will be how I do my whole tree. And this tree over here as well, once I get all them branches all sorted out there. So let's play with this building a little bit. Now this one is gonna look a little redder because I did a red roof first. And then I was like, no, this looks like a mushroom. I don't like that. So then I erased that out and changed my colors, but a little bit of the red still shines through. which is fine because it kind of helps my flowers, but it will probably look a little more red than this one over here. So I pulled for this adventure terracotta, a little Tuscan red possibly, my light umber goldenrod, and we'll kind of play with those and see. So I'm going to start with the Tuscan red, if I could keep my color straight here. This is just kind of creating a little shadow. Now I want to remember that these are see-through, so I do want to color through them here. Also going to shadow a little here, just kind of give it a curve feel. And a light one along the bottom. Okay, terracotta. So anywhere I put that Tuscan red, I'm coming up with my terracotta. Terracotta is a beautiful bricky kind of color. Okay, and then burnt ochre, I believe I'm going to add a little of for a nice transition color here. So they look almost the same. Burnt ochre is just a touch lighter. Burnt ochre blends beautifully with the goldenrod. So I like to put that one down anywhere. I'm going to use goldenrod with reds. Now, this is the only blue I have in my page, so I do want to try to bring that blue down into my windows a little bit. This one's going to need fixed up a little. It came out kind of dark, but I'll go ahead and show you on this one. Then I can fix that one off camera. Really thought I was going to like the red, and then I got it on there, and sometimes that happens. You're just like, no, that does not look how I pictured it in my head. Okay, so then again with the terracotta, and this is just making sure everything is blended so nice and smooth. Now I am going to come in with a black fine liner and do the lines of this windmill thing, so I'm not really worried about coloring over it at the moment. I just want to have a nice look there. So this one I will fix a little so it will look a little more like this when we're done. I'm going to bring in some yellow ochre here. Yes, yellow ochre. I'm going to color around everything as best I can here. This is definitely going to be wood colored, so I'm going to leave that for a moment, work around my bricks. Okay, goldenrod, and I'm going to darken just the edges a little. Blend where I skipped that whole section. And this is just shading the yellow ochre, so I'm shading darker toward the bottom so that it looks like the flowers are shadowing. A little around these bricks here. Okay, again with the burnt ochre. Again, just kind of adding some shadow to some things. A little bit on these cracks here. Then I'm going to grab my sepia. And I'm going to do the outside of this and this here. And then I can darken the wood a little. So again, terracotta makes a nice brick color. So terracotta and burnt ochre. Fix up my shading where I need to. If I need a little more, I can bring in that light umber. And then while I have that sepia, I'm also going to do all these little notches here. You can also do these with the fine liners. And I'm just adding a tiny dot of shadow to bring that a little more to life right there. Okay, I'm going to add light umber over the sepia I put here for the wood look. And that goldenrod. Alright, so there's gonna be my building. Let's work on these bushes a little bit. Again, I started at the bottom with green so that it would look like they were coming up from down here. These will need blended a little better for sure. I just kind of did a rough sketch in of it. Oh, that was building. Okay, and then I'm going to take that orange, yellowed orange that I used on my flowers. Now, anywhere there is a yellow flower, if there is a bush, like if this is a yellow flower, I am not going to use this yellow around it. I will go around it in green. I'm not sure what color that one is yet. Yellow, red, purple, yellow, red, purple, yellow, or I could go purple, red, yellow, purple, red. So I could probably be all right. So it does take a little bit of planning just so we don't have too many of the same colors so close together everywhere. Again, trying to hide that little sock there. It's not my favorite thing. Okay, then I'm going to bring in one shade lighter of that, which that one is yellowed orange, so this one is Spanish orange. That just helps me transition a little bit nicer to the canary yellow. Again, we'll blend all this green and yellow together. I just want to get my colors in first, then we'll blend them out. Again, I made my own right there because the lines just disappeared. So yours right there will look however you wanted to draw yours in if you did. That was one of the reasons I was going to go clouds, because I was just going to acrylic paint everything in. And then I was like, no. I want to bring some color up. Okay, yellow, canary yellow. Trying to dodge the tree branches, but sometimes it's just easier to erase after. There, now we have our nice bushes in. And again, the bottom of this looks a little weird because I don't have all my flowers and stems in yet. And that is probably building, I'm gonna guess. Colors everywhere here. Okay. So again, I think I'm going to do a little blue in my windows. So I'm just going to do a nice light blue. And then I'm going to use my Stettler Tri-Plus again. And do the windowsill. Also doing the little half circle things, and I will actually probably also outline my bricks and smear them a little. Now, I don't have the steadiest hand for various reasons. At the moment, probably mainly caffeine. However, I think that looks really good. So what I do is I trace over my brick and then I just rub it a little with my finger. And you can still see that I outlined it, but it doesn't give it that harsh look. Kind of. Just helps it out a little. So I am going to fix this one a little bit so it'll look more like this one. I feel like this one looks a lot better. But I will finish that, and I will finish my tree. So I'm going to pause this real quick and we will play with some clouds. Alright, so here we have, well, what's left of my label. I apologize, this bottle has lasted me like a year. The Apple Barrel, plain white, matte acrylic paint, quick drying, easy cleanup. So I don't really have a specific brand. Apple Barrel is what my Walmart sells. However, I do tend to stick to matte acrylic paint versus the glossy just because I don't like the glossy and it's not as forgiving. I do use it for background sometimes and things, but overall I stick with the matte. Another thing is for clouds, I usually use cotton balls and I will dab the cotton ball and make a nice fluffy cloud, but this is a very little area, so I'm going to use a Q-tip and we're going to learn together here. Also, I have no idea what I'm doing with these shiny things yet, but they are going to be some form of metallic, and they will probably end up looking more like ribbons than Airstreams is what I think they're supposed to be. But I haven't fully decided on those either. So I'm just going to pick a couple spots, and I'm going to do a very thin cloud line. And I'm going to put a few of these in everywhere. So you can make them a little bigger. Trail them off, whatever works for you. If your paint is coming up because of the wax, kind of, sometimes it'll stick more to your Q-tip than the paper. Let it dry, add another layer. This is not something we have to speed through and hurry and rush it. I am going to add a little over here and try to hide some of this really ugly dolphin. If you like the dolphin, I apologize. I just feel like he ruins my sky a little bit. And I don't like that, so there's the easy cleanup. You just wipe it off with your finger. Hold this down a little so it's not... Now obviously I'm not going to be able to hide the whole dolphin because that would be a really wide cloud and I don't want to ruin the whole page trying to hide the dolphin. So we're just going to stick with our little bit of clouds here and there. If you get some on your building or your bushes and you don't wipe it off right away, your pencil, you can just color that area again. Your pencil will scrape it off just fine. So I don't want a whole ton of clouds, but I don't want any spot to look like it got skipped on clouds. So I'm just kind of adding a few in everywhere. Change my mind how I want to do this one over here. Again, my branches, when I color my branches, they will push that acrylic paint off, so okay, so I feel like we got some nice good clouds in. We're gonna let those dry a moment, and we're going to add a teeny tiny dot of black. If you have gray paint works fabulous as well. Or you can also just do a little bit of eyeshadow, whatever works to add a tiny dot to yours. So I want a really light gray. I don't want a dark gray. I don't want it to look like we're getting ready to thunderstorm or... So just mixing a light gray. And then I'm not going to use the end that I mixed that with. I'm going to switch to the other end so I don't have a huge amount on there. And that is still pretty dark. So just in a couple. I would suggest going a little lighter gray than this, and I know my clouds look weird. I'm going to fix it with the white here in a second. I just want to get it all on. Okay. I'm going to set that one to the side and go back to pure white. I'm even on camera here. So everywhere I put that gray, I'm just going to now, you don't want to knock it out completely, because that's why we put it in, right? Is we wanted some gray in our clouds. But we don't want it that harsh. Sorry for the buzzing. We have 2 new orange foster babies, and they are not bottle fed babies. They are strictly here. Somebody found some wild kitties, and they need a little bit of socialization before they can find homes with kids and things like that. So we are socializing kitties. So I have little timers set, like, hey, he needs touched, fed, picked up. Because them wild kitties, they be feisty. Feisty. But they are so fun. Alright, so there are our clouds. So let's pull out a little. Okay, so quickly, my plan here is, and I will show this the best I can. I need to find another Sharpie that is blue like this in my collection. This one might have to do. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to look a little weird, but I'm going to put in First of all, I'm going to use this cool book here so that I don't get the page behind it. I'm going to color these blue. Now, not everybody's going to love this, but hold on, I have a plan. I do want kind of a brightish blue for what I am doing. Please do not do this till you see what I'm doing, because you may not have the same supplies as me. I do not want a blue that is going to blend in with my sky either. Now, if you want to do ribbons, of course, you'll do your light and your darks accordingly, but I am going to take these pretty little watercolors here. These are from the Temu website. These are shimmer solid watercolor. This is the Macron set. They have a few others. They have Galaxy, Flower, Vintage. They are all shimmer, which is fun, except for the greens in this one are weird to me. But that's a 12 set. These are all 6. They're like $2 on Temu each. If you need a link, I can post one below. I know not everybody is sure about that site yet, but Jamie at Jamie's Coloring Love showed me her. Where did my paintbrush go? Showed me them, and I put mine in the cart as a future purchase, and then my mom used my account to buy my daughter a graduation outfit and didn't know they were in the cart, so she bought those too. So, Mother's Day. But I'm going to take my shiny blue watercolors. Now this does not look as good if you do not color it blue first, I will warn you. They don't have a lot of color to them, but they are shiny. So we're going to put one layer on here. And then we'll let it dry. Really want to try these out on some fairy wings or stained glass or something like that. I've been looking and looking for like a project that I could get them to work on. This wasn't the intended project, but didn't know what else to do with all these swirlies. So I got a little bit of water running away. So I'm going to let those dry real quickly, and then I will come back, show you how they look dried, and we will be all done. See you in a minute. All right, so we are dry, so I will, maybe if I cannot knock the rest of this paint over, quickly kind of show you how shimmery and fun those are in the light here. So granted, if you're like trying to get them to show up in pictures, they probably are not going to show up very well, but for your own satisfaction, I feel like they look great. They are very shiny. The light reflects off them very well. If you are curious, I did swatch the set. If you've seen my videos, you have seen these because I'm so excited to use them. But here is all the sets. Look how shiny they are. So I'm very excited to jump in, find a project to use more of these on. So you will see more of these. But yes, so that's a little of everything on the page. Again, I got a few spots to finish up on the clouds, my tree, my little flowers here, and I'm going to fix this little roof that looks very rough. But I thank you for coloring with me and joining in for Mythographic of the Month. I hope to see you for June. I appreciate all the tags on Instagram and things of showing me your pages. That makes me feel awesome. And yeah, happy May, happy June, and I hope to see you next time.